All right, today we're doing something a little different. It's a really cool thought experiment, actually. We're going to dive into this imagined afterlife chat with none other than John Lennon. Now, all the ideas here, they come from this incredibly creative source that really tries to get inside his head.
So, let me ask you this. Seriously, what if you could just sit down with a legend and ask them the big questions, about their art, their philosophy, their life? Well, that's exactly the rabbit hole we're going down today. Okay, so where does this happen? We're in a place called the Summoning Room. Just think of it as this conceptual, kind of dreamlike space where we can actually talk to people from history. It's the perfect spot for our imagined chat with John Lennon. So, yeah, let's step inside.
First up, let's get into the real engine behind all that music. Was it some big, conscious plan to change the world? Or was it something, a lot more personal?
Well, according to this imagined sit-down, Lennon's answer is, it's crystal clear. The music, it wasn't some grand scheme to shape a generation. No way. It was more like his diary. It was just his way of dealing with all the chaos of life. The songs were basically just him trying to figure things out for himself first and foremost.
And you can totally see that evolution right here. I mean, in the early Beatles days, the motivation was pretty simple, right? Trying to make a buck and get girls. But as he got older, the songs, they grew up with him. Frustration gave us revolution, and that deep, deep hope, that's where Imagine came from.
So here's the bottom line. The whole point, really. Underneath it all, the big goal was just connection. It was all about reaching out through a song and just saying, hey, you're not alone in feeling this. That's it. Okay, so if the music started out so personal, how in the world did it blow up into this massive global message? That's a great question. And it brings us right to our next section, Lennon's whole philosophy of peace.
Now, this is really interesting. The way this frames his biggest anthem, Imagine, wasn't just some naive little song about a perfect world. Nope, it was a challenge. It was a dare. It's like he was saying, look, if you can't even imagine a better world, if you can't even get your head around the idea, how are we ever going to build one?
So how do you actually do that? Well, in this conversation, it kind of breaks down into 3 steps. Step 1. Peace isn't about politicians or governments. It starts right inside you, in your own heart, your own mind. Step 2. It's not a one-time thing. It's a choice you have to wake up and make every single day. And finally, step 3, you got to share it. You got to sing that song and hope to God someone else starts singing along.
But, all of this, it came with a huge price tag. And that brings us to our third big theme, that crazy, complicated experience of being famous.
I absolutely love this quote. A beautiful, terrifying, exhilarating circus. Wow. I mean, in just 6 words, he completely nails it. The insane highs, the scary lows, everything that comes with being one of the most famous people on Earth. It's the perfect way to describe a life lived under a microscope, 24/7.
And this is the central conflict, isn't it? On the one hand, fame was this massive platform. It was literally the megaphone he used to broadcast his message to the entire world. But on the other hand, it was a cage, a real one. It trapped him, it isolated him, and you get the sense it was always chipping away at his sanity.
And all of this led to this constant internal war for his creative soul. Just imagine the pressure for a second. The entire world is begging you for another Yesterday, right? Another perfect little pop song. But that's not where your head is at anymore. That's not what you need to say. So the real battle was just trying to stay true to his own voice with that deafening roar of expectation all around him.
So when all is said and done, what's the big takeaway from this amazing, imagined conversation? What's the stuff that really sticks with you? Let's break it down.
It really just boils down to these 3 powerful ideas. First, your art, your creativity, whatever it is you do, that's how you make sense of your own world. Second, hope isn't something you just have. It's something you do. It's an active thing. You have to imagine a better reality and then start building it. And finally, and this is a big one, the real fight is always going to be the fight to stay true to your own voice.
And that leaves us with one last question. A big one that kind of turns Lennon's whole journey right back on us. I mean, he fought to find his song against the roar of the entire planet. So in our own lives, with all the noise we're surrounded by, how do we find our own song to sing?